Finally, the day has come when I get to test out the new Saucony Endorphin Speed 4. I do apologise that it's taken us so long, but it did take forever to get our hands on a pair, but I'm happy to say that they arrived yesterday, and this is a great looking shoe. I've got some good history with the Endorphin model, so I personally think the original Endorphin Speed was a fantastic shoe, and I also think it's the shoe responsible for putting Saucony back on the running map, and I loved every mile that I ran in these. When it got updated to the 2s, again, really got on with that shoe, and to be honest, there wasn't a lot of difference between the two models. However, when Saucony updated it to the 3, I've got to be honest, I didn't really get on with these, and you've got to ignore the lacing system I've got on it. This doesn't come on the shoe, this is something I've added afterwards, but yeah, I didn't really get on with these, and I feel that they lost a bit of their running magic. So I've got my fingers tightly crossed today that the new Endorphin Speed 4 is going to bring some of that running magic back. So I guess there's only one way to find out, so let's dive into the video. Welcome back, folks. Thanks for tuning in again. I'm Lloyd Purvis and this is Run4Adventure. So the first impressions videos are coming thick and fast, and this is always an exciting time of year when, you know, all the new models, all the new updates are getting released by the brand. So let's get stuck in and I'll give you a bit of information about the new Endorphin Speed 4. First up, if you are new to the Endorphin range from Saucony, then the Speed 4 has been designed to be that sort of neutral performance trainer. So it's going to handle all those quicker sessions throughout the week, you know, your intervals, your tempos. It can be used as a daily training shoe or even laced up on race day. So it does make it a very versatile running shoe option. This time round, the Speed 4 has gone through a complete redesign, so there has been quite a few changes made. The first one being, and unfortunately so, the price has gone up. So they now retail in the UK for a pretty expensive £180, and that's a big £15 increase compared to the previous Endorphin Speed 3. So maybe not the best of starts. Unfortunately, the same can be said about the weight. So my size, a UK 9.5, tips the scales at 262 grams. And again, that's a pretty big 20 gram increase on the weight compared to the previous version. So a little bit disappointing and definitely not what I was expecting from a performance driven trainer. As far as that midsole goes, we've still got the same stack height of 36mm at the heel, 28mm under the forefoot, giving you that same 8mm heel offset. We've got a re-engineered nylon winged plate worked into that midsole construction. So that's a nylon plate and not a carbon fiber plate like you'd get in the Endorphin Pro 4. That means that that shoe is a little bit more flexible and a little bit more forgiving for those training miles. And I'm happy to say that that plate is still housed inside the brilliant performance foam from Saucony Power Run PB. We still get that very efficient speed roll technology, so we've got this nice rocker geometry worked into that midsole design just to give you a smoother turnover and to help you with that forward motion. But the overall design of the midsole is quite different. So we now get this sort of split wing design on the heel of the shoe, and it actually reminds me of a very similar design that you get on some of Hoka's performance road shoes. And we've now got this cutout at the shank on the midsole, so we can actually see the nylon plate now. And I've got to be honest, I'm never a big fan of seeing sort of big voids on the bottom of a running shoe, so I'm just hoping this doesn't become a stone trap on today's run. And finishing up, when it comes to the midsole design, we've got Saucony's XT carbon rubber in all the high wear areas, and we've got this new sort of lattice design on the forefoot section. That's there to give you good levels of grip in all weather conditions, but also a bit of extra durability to help the Endorphin Speed 4 soak up all those training miles. The new upper design is all about being lightweight and super breathable, and it's been constructed using zonal engineered mesh. So we've got this lightweight fabric with lots of perforations all over the toe box and at the midfoot, and we've also got a very lightweight tongue design. It looks like it's been made up of 3 independent layers of mesh, and then we've got these bigger perforations worked over it. Happy to see that that tongue is gusseted inside the upper just to give you that sort of foot hugging performance feel. I'd say you get a moderate level of padding around the ankle collar and in the heel cup, but you do get a good level of substance and support in the back end of the shoe. We got some overlays around the heel, around those lace eyelets, and some internal inlays wrapping around that toe box, just to give this soft upper some substance and to help when it comes to support. And then last but not least, we've got this locking system worked into the laces, just to give you a real secure lockdown around your midfoot to try and reduce any in-shoe slippage. So there you have it, folks, the new neutral performance trainer from Saucony, the Endorphin Speed 4. And now it is time for the fun bit, but we're going to do the run slightly differently today. So what we're going to do first is we're going to put the previous version on the Endorphin 3. We're going to run 5 miles. So I'm going to do a nice steady 2-mile warm-up, and then we're going to up the tempo for the last 3 miles. Once we've done that, I'm going to get my feet in the new version for the first time, and we're going to run the same session, because I think it'd be really good to remind myself how the 3s felt and how they performed, and then it'll be a lot easier to compare these to that previous version of the Endorphin Speed. So I guess I'm going to pop off and get changed, and we'll see you guys out on the run. Okay, so we got the Endorphin Speed 3s on our feet. Unfortunately, not the best of weather. It's pretty cold, strong wind, and there's damp in the air. How I miss the warm, sunny temperatures of Turkey, that's for sure. But we're gonna get out there, we're gonna get this run done. So, like I said, back at the studio, we're going to start with a nice 2-mile warm-up, get the legs loose. If I remember right, this shoe felt pretty good at those slower tempos, and then we're going to up the pace for the last 3 miles, and that's where I felt a bit disappointed about the Endorphin 3. I just feel that it lacked a little bit of that energy return, a little bit of that pop, and a little bit of excitement compared to the Endorphin 1 and Endorphin 2. But let's get on with this run, let's get this session done. Okay, so that is the warm-up done. Now we're gonna up the pace for the next 3 miles. And when I say up the pace, we're not going crazy. There is a super strong headwind today. So gonna probably be low 7s, high 6s, minute miling. Maybe when we make the turnaround, we got a tailwind, we'll push on a bit, but let's get these 3 miles done. Okay, so we made it to the turning point. That was super tough with that headwind, but should be a lot easier going back. Okay, that is the first run done. So managed to get in just over 6 miles, which wasn't a bad thing because it allowed me to have a nice cool down after putting in a little bit of effort over those 3 miles. And as far as the Endorphin Speed 3s go, it was kind of what I remembered, you know, it just didn't feel that inspiring. It felt quite flat. Didn't feel like that midsole was returning anywhere near the amount of energy that I got from the original Endorphin Speed or the Endorphin Speed 2. And I've got to be honest, it just felt quite similar to a Saucony ride. You know, it didn't feel that exciting to run in. So, like I said, how it felt originally, I haven't run in it for some time, but yet still didn't blow my mind, to be honest. But let's get the new Endorphin Speed 4 on our feet, and we're going to get back out on the roads. We're going to run exactly the same session. So we're going to be doing a 2-mile warm-up again, and then we're going to be hitting those 3 miles at a quicker tempo. It was super hard on the way out with that headwind, but pretty good coming back. And already just lacing these up, the new Endorphin Speed 4 feels a little bit more exciting. So that could be a good sign for the run we're just about to do. But let's get back out on the roads of Cornwall and let's get these next 5 miles done, and then we'll get home and bring you guys a full conclusion.
I know exactly what
Okay, so we are losing light rapidly. I feel like I'm constantly chasing the sunlight in the UK at the moment. Roll on daylight saving, where I'm going to get an extra hour of daylight to film in, but we have completed the warm-up and already I can tell that this shoe is going to perform way better than the previous version. Just after a steady 2 miles, just feels a little bit lighter, a little bit nimbler, even though it has increased in weight. So I don't know what's going on there. As far as the fit, I would say they fit very similar to the Endorphin Speed 3. So I got both pairs in a UK 9.5, and I'd say they're true to size with average to narrow width in the toe box. But like I said, we better crack on. We're going to up the tempo now for 3 miles. I think this is going to be a good session of the run, and I think the shoe's going to perform well, but let's crack on, see how it goes. Okay, that is the 3 miles done at a quicker pace. Hopefully you can still see me because it's pretty gloomy out here now, but definitely a big improvement when it comes to the new Endorphin Speed 4. I actually ran those 3 miles quicker than I did in the 3s, but it felt easier. It feels like that speed roll technology, that rocket geometry just feels a bit more efficient, and I'm definitely getting more energy return from that Power Run PB midsole. So I'm not convinced it's as good as the original Endorphin Speeds, but it's definitely a big improvement on that previous version. So I've got a mile cool down to do, and then we'll get back home and we'll wrap this video up with a quick conclusion. See you in the studio. So we have made it back. I'm sorry it got so dark towards the end of the run. I've actually just uploaded some of the GoPro footage and it does look pretty gloomy out there, but you know, today has just run away with me, but we did manage to get in a real quality session. So I ran in 2 different shoes, my legs felt nice and strong, and it didn't rain, believe it or not. And I also got to run 13.35 miles. So just a great run all round. More importantly, I think the Endorphin Speed has a bit of its old magic back. Now, like I said on the run, I don't think it's quite as good as the original Endorphin Speed or the 2s, but I personally think it outperformed the Endorphin Speed 3 on every level. As far as upper fit and feel, I would say the 2 shoes are very similar. Now I know I've got an aftermarket lace system on my Endorphin 3s, but it really doesn't change the fit or feel of that upper at all. And I've actually never had any upper issues with any of the Endorphin Speed models over the years. This new engineered mesh upper felt nice and light and airy, and breathability was good out on the run, and the gusseted tongue made me feel very secure and well locked down around my midfoot. Even though that tongue is quite thin in design, Saucony have worked in a bit of padding across the top of that tongue where the laces pull down tight, so it also felt nice and comfortable across the top of my foot. Just the right amount of padding around the ankle collar and in the heel for me, so it felt nice and comfy, but no slippage issues at all either, even when I upped the tempo. So that heel cradle felt nice and secure around the back end of my foot. So all in all, the upper is just a nice airy, plush place to be that seems to work really well for my foot shape. I would say if you are overly wide when it comes to your foot width, then you might struggle a bit with these because it's not the roomiest of toe boxes, and that's coming from someone with a relatively narrow foot shape. So like I said, I've never really had an upper issue with the Endorphin Speed. It was more of an issue with midsole performance, or lack of midsole performance, in the Endorphin Speed 3. I just felt that shoe for me felt a bit flat when Saucony made the changes, and it felt a little bit slappy to run in. So the first thing I noticed with these is maybe a slight change in that speed roll technology. That rocket geometry worked into the midsole. Just felt like it was giving me a bit more forward momentum, and when I upped the pace, it definitely felt a bit more efficient underfoot. I also think we've got a bit of pop back, a bit of energy return in this Power Run PB foam. So again, felt a lot more lively, it felt quicker, and it gave me that feeling that I got in the original Endorphin, where when you do up the pace, all you want to do is run quicker and quicker. And I actually set my road 5k PB in the original Endorphin Speed, and these gave me a similar feeling out there today. Now, I know a lot of runners, myself included, raved about that original shoe. You know, it really was an exciting shoe to run in, and I still like running in them today, but it was quite stripped back for a training shoe, and that very soft midsole could be quite unstable if you weren't super neutral in your gait. So I think the addition of this winged plate design in the new 4s, it does make the shoe feel a little bit more planted and a little bit more stable underfoot, and maybe more in keeping with a training shoe that can be used for every aspect of your running. So wrapping up, I think these are a big step in the right direction, and I think Saucony have put a bit of life back into the Endorphin Speed model with the latest version. I think it is a bit of a shame that it's gone up 20 grams in weight. You know, I never like to see that with a running shoe. Don't get me wrong, it didn't run heavy out there today. It was still nice and light and nimble, but I never like to see it when a new version comes up and it's gone up in weight. I prefer it to have gone down in weight. And then pretty disappointed by the big price increase as well. You know, £15 is a big difference compared to the Endorphin Speed 3, and I understand that, you know, materials cost of manufacturing goes up, but £180 for a training shoe, albeit a very versatile training shoe, is pretty expensive. However, it was a great first run in the Endorphin Speed 4s, and I'm happy to say that we've just managed to get hold of its carbon-plated, speedier brother, the Endorphin Pro 4s. So we're going to be lacing them up and taking them out for their first run soon, so keep your eyes peeled from that one. I'd love to hear your thoughts, guys, on today's slightly different first impressions video. So did you enjoy the fact that I ran in the previous version, then in the new version? Was it a good way of comparing the shoes? Let us know in the comments below what you think, because maybe we'll do that again in future videos. Don't forget, if you have enjoyed the video and you found it helpful, to like, comment, share and subscribe, because it really is a big help to the channel. And also, if you've got any extra questions about the new Endorphin Speed 4s from Saucony, please feel free to get them in the comments below. Speaking of comments, we've had a few viewers asking, where is this year's Arc of Attrition race day video? And I do apologise for the delay. It is coming, but it just takes a lot longer to produce these types of videos. First of all, we got hours and hours and hours of footage. I've got to go through it all, watch it and select the clips I want to use in the video. League has spent 2 or 3 days making maps of the route, and sometimes it will take 2 or 3 days just to find a piece of music that we like, that works for a 1 or 2 minute clip in the video. And then you've got the days, the weeks, lots of hours sitting in front of the laptop editing it and making it look right, look good, making sure the music suits the sort of vibe we're trying to make in the video. So it is coming, guys. It will be on the channel very soon. But for now, thanks for watching and supporting the channel. It really is appreciated. We'll be back here very soon with some more exciting running content. And as always, stay safe and keep on running. Made me want to run faster and faster, and that is a feeling that I got in the original Endorphin Speed. You know, I actually just the right level of padding around the ankle collar and in the heel It did feel nice and secure. Also, I can't remember what I'm going to say. What am I going to say, Shoe? What's my next line? Can you tell me? No, you're not much help, are you?